Hey there, CJ Maurer with The Gist. Welcome back to another one of our strategic HubSpot tutorial videos. Today we're going to be talking about customizing objects, right? Your main objects, your contacts, your companies, your deals, your tickets. How do we customize it so that when somebody goes into that view, pulls up a company, pulls up a deal, they see what they want to see, what they need to see, when they want to see it. This is a wonderful way to make the CRM more usable for all of your team members. So let's dive in. First, you can see I'm in the company index page, right? You have an index page for all of your objects, contacts, companies, deals, tickets, right? You can see all of that right here. Your index page is your listing, right? And you could filter them down by different variables, like here are my active clients, here are my leads and prospects, right? So there's a lot of customization that is available for each of your objects, whether they're the default objects in HubSpot, contacts, companies, deals, tickets, a couple more, or you're creating custom objects, which if you have enterprise is something that you can do. But today we want to talk about what happens when you click into one of these records and how do you customize that? Because there's a lot of customization available. Now, that may seem like window dressing, and I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, except for the fact that everybody knows that a key to CRM effectiveness is adoption. Are my employees, are my team members going to use it? Are they going to use it well? So there's a lot of things that impact adoption, but one big one is friction. The more friction associated with people using the CRM, the longer it takes for them to find what they need to find, do what they need to do, the more they're going to resist it. So the more you can eliminate that, the better everybody is going to be using the CRM. And simply customizing the object records so that they're smart and do what you want them to do for the people you want them to do it with is going to help that. So here's two companies, Mitchell Simon. Again, this is a demo portal with dummy data, but here we have Mitchell Simon and here we have Carpenter Group. They're both company records, but what do you notice? If you go on the left sidebar, Carpenter Group has about this company, prospect information, sales activities, marketing information, and contact information. Mitchell Simon has client support, client overview, client payroll information, marketing information, contact information. The reason why this is different is because not only have we customized what data people simply find on the left sidebar of records, but we've also customized it based on what stage of the customer journey the company is in. Carpenter Group is just a prospect. So that's why we have things about sales activities. And because this is a demo portal modeled after a payroll and HR company, there's not actually people contacting the Carpenter Group, but you can get the idea, right? But there's prospect information, current provider, things that the sales team needs to know. Whereas Mitchell Simon, once it becomes a client, the information that the average user needs to see about them is completely different. I want to know what their company ID is, who the primary contacts are, what products and services they're using, what's their start date, so on and so forth, right? So the first thing that you can realize is you can make all of your default settings conditional to certain properties, such as lifecycle stage, such as what state they're located in, or literally any other property. And the second thing that you can do is you can customize what people see based on what team they're in. So if you go into the settings, when you're setting up your companies, right, you can click on record customization. So let's start with the default view here and what we can do. First, you're going to see a couple of things. One, all of these cards, right? I can see, let's go to client support, right? Let's edit this. So most accounts have hundreds, if not thousands of custom properties. And those are all the things like the iceberg. You only see 10% up top, everything below the surface. Anytime you're in a company record, you can click actions and view all properties, and you can see the value of any company property and what it's set for this particular record. Most people only need to work with a couple of data points to do their job on a daily basis. So what you want to do is call to attention the specific properties that people are going to need to see. So here what we've done is we've created a section that lives on the left sidebar called client support. We've decided which properties are going to go in that section. and we've made conditional display logic. So only display this if the lifecycle stage is equal to client, which is why Mitchell Simon, we see all of this information because their lifecycle stage right here is client. That's simple. So first thing you want to think about is what properties do we call to attention on the left sidebar, right? That's first and foremost, and make them conditional. What does sales team need to see? What does marketing team need to see? Implementation, customer service, your executive level admins, whatever. The second thing that you can do is customize the overview tab. You can add cards in here. You can add anything from activities, overviews, association tables, data highlights, and property lists. There's so much that you can add. You can see if I go over to Mitchell Simon in the overview tab, we started with data highlights, create date, lifecycle stage, last activity date. We can put in upcoming and recent activities, and then a custom one here if anyone wants to type in notes. That's going to stay in the overview, so that way your team can manually keep that updated. A lot of companies usually want to have like a master note somewhere on the record, maybe even pinned up top. So you can customize everything in the overview tab. The next thing that you can do is create new tabs. So this is really cool. So I can say like ice cream. So maybe I want to have a tab that has a bunch of individual cards related to ice cream, the client's favorite kind of ice cream, so on and so forth. What I did already was created a client information tab that has a bunch of things that are relevant to client information. Then you customize what's on the right sidebar, what associations. Now this is going to come in with a bunch of things right out of the gate. Invoices, lead scoring, buyer intent, health score, right? You want to trim these down, right? You want to trim this down to the 3 to 8 things that your reps are going to want to see. And that way it's less scrolling, and you always, whenever you're in a record, you pretty much see, okay, here's the contacts, if there's leads, tickets associated with them, playbooks, and file attachments. Great, simple. Don't have 20 things on here so that your reps are constantly scrolling down this right sidebar for information that they need to seek out. First off, create custom sections in the left sidebar, make them conditional to lifecycle stage or other variables. Edit the overview tab, trim these down, customize that. If you have enterprise, you can create your own tabs up here, which is great, and then make sure you're editing the right sidebar as well. All of this is going to contribute to clean, accurate, simple records that honestly are going to make your team members breathe a little sigh of relief every time they need to look up a record. The last thing that you can do is, you can see here, you can create different views for different teams. I'm going to go into this customer success team view right here, and I'm going to assign this to a team, and I'm going to say anybody with customer service, this is what they see. So not only can you make it conditional to aspects about the records themselves, like the company's lifecycle stage or the contact's favorite flavor ice cream, but you can even customize it based on your team, which is hugely advantageous to simplifying data, organizing it, and reducing friction. At the end of the day, it's all coming back to, can we make this CRM as useful as possible and as easy to use as possible? And that's what you can accomplish by paying attention to how you customize your objects. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this valuable. If you did, please hit like and subscribe. It helps us. I can tell you, we really appreciate it, but it also helps other people like you see our content, people who are trying to figure out how to better use HubSpot as a true instrument for growth. And finally, if you have any ideas of videos you'd like for us to make, click the link in the description. It'll take you to a quick form and you can submit an idea. We read every submission, and some of the videos we've made came to us as submissions from complete strangers. So please, as a complete stranger, tell us what you want to see and we'll look at it. Thanks again so much. We'll see you soon.